أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, so we continue with the حروف العطف and we ended on is it ثم? I guess we ended on ثم, so we are picking from أو, which basically means or. Okay, it says min حروف العطف. How is also part of the conjunctional characters or letters or particles or articles, however you want to put it. تقول, you say أكرم زيدا أو عمرا. You say to somebody honor Zaid or Amr. وفي القرآن كثير, and in the Quran أو comes a lot. It says فكفرته إطعام 10 مساكين من أوسط ما تطعمون أهليكم أو كسوتهم أو تحرير رقبة. So you realize that after ما تطعمون من أوسط ما تطعمون أهليكم, he brings أو كسوتهم أو تحرير رقبة. So it shows either this or that. So you get to know that it comes this or that option. The number of times it will be repeated. So it comes to show options basically, which we will come to get to know the meaning of it. As I've said, all of them, they have function. Function is that when they come, the one that follows follows the i'rab, and then بعد ذلك the meaning of it. What is its meaning? Sometimes some of them can have more than a meaning, just like we have the thumma having ta'qib, having tartib, but the tartib being ta'khir. There's a delay in the ta'qib. And then you have fa having ta'qib. It comes with tartib and ta'qib. So we need to have all those meanings available. Okay, so he brings us this verse as an example that you see or. He's showing you the kafara you can do. Ada it'amu 10 masakina, using awsati ma tut'imuna ahalikum, what you use to feed your family. Okay, so he's giving you aw kiswatuhum, or you choose the second option, or their clothing, aw tahriru raqabatin, or freeing a slave. Okay, says fa aw, so the aw idhan min huruf al-atfi, lakin ma ma'naha. See what I've been saying, but what is the meaning? It is of the huruf al-atf, but what is the meaning? Laha ma'anin, it has a lot of meanings. Minha ash-shakku, among it is ash-shakku, yani doubt. والتخيير, التخيير بمعنى, from the verb خير, to give choices. So if I want to give you something and I say take this or that, I'm giving you choices. This is التخيير. If I say Umar or Hamza or Ibrahim came, this shows a shak. I'm not sure who came. Wal ibahatu, and ibaha is permission. Like if I tell you اشرب الماء أو العصير أو اللبن أو, now this is what we call ibaha. Now we need these things. These things are very important when you come to usul al-din or usul al-fiqh. When you come to usul al-fiqh, these things are very expensive. You have to know the aw being used at a particular place. Is it showing doubt, or it is showing takhyir, yani choices being given that you can choose this or that, or it is showing that you are permitted to choose all or just put all together? We have to take note of that. First of all, he picks the ashaq to explain. Ashaqu min al-mutakallim, yani the one speaking has doubt. والتخيير باعتبار المخاطب, and تخيير is you giving choices, is dependent, is kind of in consideration of the second person. The shak is when the speaker, the one saying something, has doubt. And when you are giving somebody choices, the person, you are putting choices before the person, then it becomes the second person is dependent on the second person. وَالْإِبَاحَةُ بِإِعْتِبَارِ الْمُخَاطَبِ أَيْضًا, and then you giving permission for the person to, now you are open to do this or that, it's also dependent on is in consideration of the second person. Because when I tell you قُلْ الطعام أو الخبز أو all these things I'm telling you, eat this or that, it is you, the choices, or me giving you the permission, allowance to do it is dependent on the second person. But when we pick the shak, it falls on the first person. Okay. And he says, فَإِذَا كُنْتَ لَا تَدْرِي فَقُلْتَ. So let's say you do not know and you say قَدِمَ زَيْدٌ أَوْ أَمْرٌ. This is shakkun. Zayd or Amr came. You don't know who. وكثيرا ما يرد في الحديث أو يقال. It's mostly reported in the ahadith, or it is said شك من الراوي. يعني شك من الراوي. It's not really a hadith. It's not in the text of the hadith. But then sometimes when you are reading a hadith, you see that there is a confusion in vocabulary usage or expression, and then they will say شك من الراوي. يعني the one narrating has this is a doubt from the one narrating the hadith. And the person doubted whether the one saying the hadith said this or that. Okay. Then he says, مثل قوله في الحديث, like he's saying in the hadith, حين نزل قوله تعالى, when the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala statement descended, قل هو القادر على أن يبعث عليكم عذابا من فوقكم أو من تحت أرجلكم أو يلبسكم شيعا. Okay. When this verse came, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الثالثة, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said about the third one. The third one, which is the third option being given, he says that أن يبعث عليكم عذابا من فوقكم first, أو من تحت أرجلكم second, أو يلبسكم شيعا. That is the third. So he said that the Prophet ﷺ said about the thalitha, هذه أهون أو هذا أيسر. You see, the Prophet said, this is أهون, يعني this is more light. أو هذا أيسر, this is easier. So this أو here, هنا شك من الراوي, is a doubt from the author. It's not the Prophet ﷺ statement. It represents a shak from the author. It's not like the Prophet said both. He's just showing the Prophet is like he said this or he said that. لأن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يمكن أن يقول أيسر أو أهون. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم wouldn't put the two of them together like that. لكن الراوي شك هل قال أيسر أم أو أهون. The author doubted. Did the Prophet said أيسر or أهون. التخيير, when we look at the تخيير, يعني giving options, فكفارته إطعام 10 مساكين من أوسط ما تطعمون أهليكم أو كسوتهم أو تحرير رقبة. The أو here, what does the أو represent? It's not representing shak. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is not in doubt of anything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us options. You see, هذه للتخيير, this is for options, for you to choose. يعني لا تجمع بينهما خذ. لا, he should have said, I don't know your print, but it should be لا تجمع, يعني مجرور. لا تجمع بينهما مجزوم, عفوا, لا تجمع مجزوم. Don't put them together. خذ هذا أو هذا, take this or that. So he's giving you options, pick one and leave the rest. Like تزوج هندا أو أختها. This is also giving you options. The out here is not like you are open to do whatever you want. Marry Hind or her sister. You can't marry them both. This is تخيير. You are being given an option. يعني تخير, يعني pick what ما شئت. أما أن تجمع بينهما فلا يمكن. For you to put them together is not possible. So you have to know where it is الشق. You have to know where it is التخيير. And then we look at الإباحة. أن تقول, when you say كل فولا كل فولا أو عسلا هذا للإباحة. And I say eat beans or honey, and I say something like this, yani you are free. You can put the two together. Nobody cares. You can eat full, eat asal too. But then I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you the allowance. This is Ibaha. Okay. Very, very important in usul al-fiqh. Very important. يقول العلماء, scholars have said, الفرق بين الإباحة والتخيير أنه, the difference between إباحة and تخيير is that إن جاز الجمع بينهما فهو للإباحة. If you are permitted to put the two together, then it is إباحة. وإن لم يجوز الجمع بين فهو للتخيير. If you are not permitted to put the two together, then it is تخيير. التخيير معناه ما لك إلا هذا أو هذا. When you are given the تخيير options, it means that you do not have except this or that. You choose one of them. Al-ibahatu lak al-amran. When you are given ibaha, you have options to take all together. Now, look at the example again where he says, تزوج هندا أو أختها. Marry Hind or her sister. There is no way you can marry the two sisters together. And so we say this is at-takhyir. You are being asked to choose. Options are being put before you to choose. But then, when he says kul fulan aw asalan, this is about food. You can eat both. You can eat one and leave the rest. You can eat both. So this is ibaha. Now, when you are reading Islamic text, this comes in a lot. And you have to, as a student of language, be able to differentiate the aw, the ma'na al-balaghi, the al-maqsood hunak. You have to be able to point the meaning that is intended there before you can give a proper translation or understanding of the said text. Okay. But then, it says, لكن لو قال قائل, if somebody says قوله تعالى, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala statement, فكفارته إطعام 10 مساكين من أوسط ما تطعمون أهليكم أو كسوتهم أو تحرير رقبة. If somebody says this, ماذا تقولون فيها? What do you say about it? هل هي للإباحة أو للتخيير? Is this إباحة or تخيير? Of course we say تخيير. لأنك إذا فعلت واحدا لم تفعل الثاني على وجه الكفارة. Because if you do one, the second one you are doing is not meant for kafara. You are just doing it as sadaqah. Let's say you use the it'amu 10 masakin, you feed 10 people from the average food you use to feed your family. You feed your family. Then you use this to do your kafara. Okay, after that, and you say, oh, I want to also give some clothes out. Or you say, I want to free a slave. These ones become just an everyday sadaqah. It's not the kafara. The kafara has already been taken off by the first option you've taken. So the rest are not kafara. So in this case, you are just being given the option to choose one. الجمع بينهما لا يدل على كفارة فإنما إذا فعلت واحدا يكفي. Okay. And he says that إذا كسوتهم بعد أن أطعمتهم فالكسوة هذه لا تعتبر كفارة. You see just what I said. If you clothe them after you've already fed them, the clothing them is not considered as kafara. تعتبر صدقة. It is considered as صدقة. وتأتي أيضا للإبهام. And another meaning for aw again, it comes to show vagueness. Ibham yani confusion. You are confused about something, so you put it out vague. He says, well, ibhamu yusamma at-tahyir. At-tahyir yana, if I say hayyarani shay, bimana something has put me into confusion. So he says that إذن تأتي للشق والتخيير والإباحة والتحيير. مثلا يقول لك إنسان, somebody tells you, من الذي قدم? Who came? قلت, then you say زيد أو أمر, then you say زيد or أمر. أنت تدري من قدم لكن أردت أن تحيره. You know who came, but you wanted to confuse the person. You want to put the person in confusion. They say زيد أو أمر. أيهما أشد في التحيير؟ زيدا وأمرا محصورا، أما غيره فكل بني آدم غير زيد. إذن أو تأتي للأربعة معان: التحيير والتخيير والشك والإباحة. So he's saying that sometimes you just want to confuse somebody. So when the person asks you, you give the person two names. Say Zaydun or Amrun. If you compare that and Zaydan wa Amran, if somebody asks you who came, then you want to confuse the person, you rather say Zaydun or Amrun. It causes more confusion. Zayd or Amr causes more confusion than you saying Zaydan wa Amran. In that case, you've answered the person. Zayd and Amr came. But when you say Aw Amran, it means that the person is now in confusion. Who actually came? The question still stands. You get it? Okay. So when we say Zaydan wa Amran mahsurun, this is you've limited it. Zayd and Amr came. That you've limited it. So you've not given an open door. Okay. Aywa. Now. No. Okay, so here there is something, I don't know, my print didn't bring it, or I don't know, maybe the author himself didn't bring it. But when I say, for the tahir, for us to get it very well, when the person asks you, man qadima, then you say, Zaydun aw gayruhu, Zaydun aw gayruhu. You see, that is more confusing. So he says, amma gayruhu fa kullu bani Adam gayra Zayd. If I say, Zaydun aw gayruhu, it is more confusing than me saying Zaydun wa gayruhu, Zayd and someone other than him. But if I say Zaydun aw gayruhu, yani Zayd or anyone other than Zayd is too vague, yani it creates a lot of ibham, vagueness. Okay. Now we come to So of course now we know aw comes for arba'a, for four meanings: at-tahyiru wat-takhyiru wash-shakku wal-ibahatu. Jamil. تأتي أيضا حرف عطف وهي أيضا كثيرة. Also comes to show, it also comes with the meaning of or, but in Arabic the or has another meaning. Let's see. سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم. والمراد, what is the meaning here? Be with the what we mean by al-atifa here, serves al-atifa, yani it's harf atf. أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم. Here is creating the conjunction. المتصلة بخلاف المنقطعة. فالمتصلة بمعنى أو والمنقطعة بمعنى بل، فتكون للإضراب. Okay, so we have types of the we have al-muttasila, al-munqati'a. Now, the al-muttasila, when I have one option and then I bring and I bring another option, but they are all alike in the same field, I'm just doing what? Conjunction. Now, sometimes I bring something and I bring complete opposite of it. I'm trying to bring I'm trying to give you what we call idrab. I think it's mentioned here. Idrab bimana contrast. Or I am just speaking. I'm not really using it as conjunction. I say something and then I bring the to mean, or are they saying this rather, like it brings in the Quran. That is what you call the idrab, yani contrast. Let's look at the text again. It says al-atifa, al-muttasilatu bi khilafi al-munqati'atu. فالمتصلة بمعنى أو, like we are speaking and you just use the أو to connect two things right away. It comes with the meaning of عطف, يعني or, and then it comes with the meaning of أو. The al-muttasila comes with the meaning of أو, like the one we have in the verse أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ. This is a connected one. So it comes with the meaning of whether you advise them, whether you warn them or you don't warn them. It's or, it comes with the meaning of أو. بعدين it says والمنقطعة يعني أو المنقطعة بمعنى بل. أو that is separated, cut off. It comes with the meaning of bal. And the meaning of bal is idrab. Bal serves the function of idrab, which is contrast. In English, you say but, or words like rather. Okay. ومثاله قوله تعالى. Example of such is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's statement. أم يقولون شاعر. Are they rather saying he's a poet? فإذا كان ما بعدها معادلا لما قبلها فهي متصلة. وإن كان غير معادل له فليست بمتصلة. You see what I was talking about? If what comes after the after the is saying that if what comes after the is mu'adilan lahu, yani yu'adiluhu, it measures with it. It measures with it. It's not so much so contrast with it. It comes to mean rather. إن كان إذا كان ما بعدها معادلا لما قبلها, if what comes after the ما is in line with it, فهي متصلة, then we call the متصلة. وإن كان غير معادلا له فليست بمتصلة. He's just trying to show us the difference between al-muttasila and munqat'a. The simple understanding of it is that when the comes in context, you understand the context and you realize that it sounds like or, the is serving the function of aw. When it comes and you understand it to mean rather, it comes to serve the function of bal. So it is actually a bal which is representing idrab. Like yakuluna sha'irun. Rather, it means bal yakuluna sha'irun. Rather, they are saying he's a poet. Okay. It's quite complicated at this end, but then inshallah, going ahead, we will understand it much, much better, inshallah. Okay. It says, yakuluna sha'irun نتربص به ريب المنون. هذه منقطعة لأن ما بعدها لا يعادل ما قبلها. يقولون شاعر نتربص به. Let's look at the verse in full and then we understand exactly what they are saying. Okay. يقولون شاعر نتربص به ريب المنون. Says فذكر, the verse 29, that is Surah Tur verse 29, verse 30, Surah Tur verse 30, the one we have here. Now when we look at the Quran and you look at verse number 29, says فذكر فما أنت بنعمة ربك بكاهن ولا مجنون. So you see, he's saying that therefore continue to remind people, for by the grace of your Lord you are not a soothsayer or a madman. This has ended. You can't say, or they are saying you are a poet. You can't join that particular sentence to the sentence ma anta bi ni'mati rabbika bikahinin wala majnun. You can't say or they are saying you are a poet and this. So the or here comes to mean rather they say you are a poet. That is what they are saying. It's kind of reporting what they are saying against what it actually is. فَذَكِّرْ فَمَا أَنْتَ, you are not, by the mercy of Allah, by the blessing of Allah, by the grace of your Lord, you are not a soothsayer or a madman. أم يقولون شاعر نتربص به. So you say بل يقولون شاعر نتربص به. They are rather saying he's a poet. We wait for evil things to happen to him. ريب المنون. We wait for things that are not unfavorable things to occur to him. So when you look at the context of the verse, you realize that the here is not really mean or, it means rather. It's like he is not this, but they are rather saying this, that. So the actually comes here to mean bal. You would like to check the surah to Tur, verse number 29, check it and connect it with the 30. You realize that the here is munfasila. The here is not connected. It's not connected to it. That is the munqata'a. It's not connected. Okay. So he's saying that if you look at the verse, هذه منقطعة. منقطعة بمعنى is not connected. لأن ما بعدها لا يعادل ما قبلها. Because what comes after it is not the equal of what is before it. ولا مجنون. So if you look at ولا مجنون, if you got شاعر, then we say the here is atf, which means or aw. But when we say يقولون شاعر كذا كذا كذا, then it is munqata'a and it serves the purpose of bal. Okay. يقولون شاعر نتربص به ريب المنون قل تربصوا فإني معكم من المتربصين أم تأمرهم أحلامهم بهذا أم هم قوم طاغون. You see, هل أمرهم where is it? هل أمرهم أمر أحلامهم معادل لقولهم شاعر لا. So here he's trying to explain the munqata. I think per the explanation I give is better when you look at the verses and you check how the is actually disconnected from the previous sentence. It's actually kind of starting its own sentence. Get it? Okay. Nam. And then he says here, أم تأمرهم أحلامهم بهذا أم هم قوم طاغون. هذه يحتمل أن تكون منقطعة أو متصلة، ولكن الظاهر أنها منقطعة، يعني أضرب الله عن الأول لأن أحلامهم أضرب is the إضراب، يعني to give a contrast. And in English the contrast we represent that by rather or but. You see, so when you look at فَذَكِّرْ فَمَا أَنْتَ بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ بِكَاهِنٍ وَلَا مَجْنُونٍ, then you say, but they are saying he's a poet. You get it? So if you understand this bit, you wouldn't translate it with or. You know, when you translate it with or, the meaning is not really stable. Some Qurans have done it like that. Like this Quran in my hand here, this translation that I have, it says or, but when you look at the meaning of here, you realize that it is not really the or that should be there. Okay. The al-munqati'ah comes to mean rather. It comes to mean bal. And the al-muttasila comes to mean aw. Okay. Yani adrab Allahu an al-awwal. Yani Allah has given contrast to the first. Am ta'amuruhum ahlamuhum bihaza. Am hum qawmun taghun. Okay. And he says, لأن أحلامهم لم تأمرهم ثم أثبت أنهم قوم طاغون, because their dreams or their thought did not order them. It doesn't give them orders. You get it? It doesn't give them orders. And Allah said, rather, they are transgressors. So the there means rather, in the best understanding of this harf. فهنا نقول So here we say the harf عطف عطف جملة على جملة. It connects two sentences. سواء جاء زيد أم أمر. صحيح. نقول حرف عطف وأمر معطوف على زيد، والمعطوف على المرفوع مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ضمة ظاهرة على آخره. This is إعراب. Okay. Now, so we will pick from imma in our next episode, and then inshallah from there we will end with it. We will pick from imma to the end of the material.